is that time of the week. What a better way to kick off your Monday than checking in with the greatest weatherman in the history of the world.
Yeah, definitely a high note on a Monday.
I mean, you talk about perking you up on your Monday morning. It gets no better than News Channel 5's Mark Johnson, kind enough to join us yet again to start your week off. Mark, how are we doing? How was your weekend?
Hey, short. I propose 3 or 4 day weekends. What do you think of that?
Yeah,
That would be fantastic. You know, when we're done talking about this week's forecast and things like that, it's funny. Lauren and I each have a weather question for you, and a listener
Yes,
sent in. So apparently, this is going to become a Q&A for you sometimes, Mark.
I love it.
Even a listener asked a weather question. We have
Yep.
to ask you today from the text line. So we'll get to that. So obviously, unfortunately, the smoke is back, Mark.
It is back. I just checked our air quality numbers for Stark County. They're at 152, which is high. So you look outside and you see that haze hanging around, and that's not fog. That's not approaching rain. That's pretty much smoke from Canadian wildfires. Again, as long as we have a wind out of the west-northwest, you have this issue. And it's going to be with us for at least another day, maybe a little longer. We need those winds to come around to the south. So we got to wait and see how long this smoke lasts. If you are sensitive, if you have some breathing issues, some asthma, I can feel it in my throat right now. I'm sitting outside, and you can see it's real hazy behind me there. If you're watching on the YouTube,
Yes.
all right.
right.
So you just use caution. If you have to work outside and you're real sensitive, you may have to wear a mask. I mean, you really, really do because of this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. This has been such a factor for. And you mentioned like a month ago, you said it's going to be an on and off thing this summer. It wasn't going to be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fires are burning themselves out because they can't go. I mean, these fires are located in remote areas of Canada where you can't get to them unless you parachute in from space. And that's really not going to happen. So they're going to burn themselves out, and it's going to take until probably September to do that. So we're going to have them all summer long.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I have a question too. I had read an article saying that this allergy season has actually been worse than several years prior, and that part of it was because we started the summer off a little cool, which kind of delayed some of the blooming, right? But then
Right.
also because of these wildfires, you can't burn hundreds of thousands of trees and not expect some of that pollen to be in this smoke. I mean, how much truth is there to that?
Well, I mean, you've got the pollen, but the smoke is really what's irritating folks, their throats, their noses, their air passages, because you're breathing in volatile organic compounds. That's what fire produces. And some of them, most of them are killed off by sunlight over a few hours or a couple of days, but some of them linger for many, many days, like benzene and formaldehyde. So in this smoke, you're breathing in benzene and formaldehyde.
Wow.
And that's just not good. So that's going to send everything in your respiratory system just out of whack. You're going to be stuffed up. You're going to wheeze a little bit, all of those things.
Yeah, I know this has been a struggle. My husband has seasonal allergies, and he's had like 3 or 4 weeks now where he cannot get rid of the postnasal drip and all of this stuff. And I'm like looking up all this stuff, and it could very well be some of the smoke from the wildfires.
Yeah, 100%. And the last week or so when we didn't have the smoke, the allergens were pretty manageable. The tree pollen was way down, the grass pollen was down, but now smoke is back, and that's the big one.
Yeah.
also look ahead. Could have some storms this week, Mark, even today.
Even today, afternoon and evening thunderstorms, and there is a risk for some damaging winds, maybe a little bit of hail in any one of these storms that do form. So a small, severe risk today. Will be dry tomorrow with sunshine. There's your day to get out, mow your lawn. And then Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday, some more scattered showers, thunderstorms each afternoon. But the payoff here, Saturday and Sunday, you're dry with highs 80, 82, somewhere in there, which is pretty nice.
That's a beautiful summer weekend.
Yeah. That's awesome. Get the rain out of the way now, and then give us Saturday and Sunday to bask in the sunshine.
All right, Mark. Now, Lauren and I each and a listener have a weather question for you. Are you
Okay.
ready, please?
Yes, let's do it.
The listener first. Listeners first.
Yeah, listeners first.
All right. Someone text in a question you've probably been asked a million times in your life. Can Mark please explain to me the difference between partly cloudy versus partly sunny?
That's great. There really is no difference. Partly sunny, partly cloudy says the same thing. 30 to 70% sky coverage. It's basically the meaning with clouds of those two. Now, for me, partly cloudy means there's more sunshine than clouds there. Partly sunny to me, and this is how I use it, and I try not to use it, folks, because of the confusion. It's more clouds than sun. So partly sunny means you've got sunshine kind of shining through a lot more clouds. Partly cloudy means you've got a few cotton ball cumulus clouds and a lot of sun around them. I don't think that helps anybody anymore. So I try not to use those phrases.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mark, that totally makes sense to me, though, the way you explain that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, again, if you have to think about it too hard, then I'm not doing it right. So again, I don't use those terms very often because it just confuses folks. So I'll say partly cloudy, and then I'll try and explain. You're going to see a lot of sunshine. You got a few scattered clouds mixing in. That's partly cloudy.
I'm going to go next. We're going to transition to
Transition
with Lauren. So I'm going to go with my last weather one. I've always been told, I wonder if this is true, like when storms in the summer are building, because I'm a big storm guy. It's true that the sun can feed them, like gives them energy and can help build them up, right?
Right. It's called daytime heating.
But then it is true that as the sun goes down, a lot of times the storms lose their energy, and that's what makes them power down and lose some of the power that they had throughout the day. That's correct. Am I right?
Right on. When the sun is out and it heats the air up, air begins to rise, and it's that rising air. Remember your water cycle: condensation, cloud formation, precipitation. And as soon as the sun goes down, you lose that rising, air quality, unless of course you have a cold front that's coming in, and that will do the job of the sun and lift that air up and produce precipitation.
So a lot of times when the storms are still powerful at night or overnight, it's probably because a cold front's coming through.
Exactly.
Oh, we're kind of losing you.
Oh,
coming in. Oh, you losing me?
No, it's getting real sketchy.
You got me?
We got you now. I didn't hear your answer though.
Okay. It's usually overnight. It's probably a front that's coming in. That's doing that. So are you still have me? I wanted to show you my blueberries right here.
We got to transition. Like I said, Lauren has a question when you're done with that too.
Those look great, Mark.
Whoa.
Oh, they're delicious. See, everyone should be watching on the YouTube.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. And these are all in my container garden inside my little cage to keep the birds out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're delicious. Okay.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
All right, Mark, I have a question.
Yes.
And I actually said to my husband this weekend, I was like, I don't know why it's doing that. I got to ask Mark. Maybe he'll know. Oh, the grandson.
My grandson's picking blueberries. This is Jack.
Very good. Hey, Jack.
Say hi, Jack. Jack, you're on the radio. Oh, he's too busy eating.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, that's okay. So one of my favorite plants is the hibiscus. My kids get me a hibiscus every year for Mother's Day. This year, for some reason, and it's the first year, it's not doing well. And I put it in the same place every year. And I've never had any issues. But I am getting leaves that are turning yellow, and they're starting to fall off from the base up. And I don't want to lose this plant. Any tips?
Okay. Well, how much water do you give it?
I mean, we water it usually every other day.
Every other day. So the soil is evenly moist, right?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, so we're not worried about water. So the next thing we worry about is food for the plant. How often do you fertilize the plant?
Probably we've done it maybe twice, and it's been in the ground for 2 months, like once a month.
Okay. So this is a hardy hibiscus and not one that comes from Florida?
I'm not sure.
Uh-oh. Okay. So if they brought you a hibiscus that's got those big orange flowers and the big...
Yes.
Okay, so that's a tropical hibiscus.
Yes.
So that isn't hardy in this area. So again, it's in the ground now. I would try and give it a liquid fertilizer that would be like a 20, those 3 numbers on it. You need to give it some nitrogen and some potassium and some, you need to give it some fertilizer and really start to get those leaves green again. Try that. And do that today or tomorrow, a nice dose of liquid fertilizer. I don't care if it's Miracle Grow or if it's fish emulsion, if you're all natural, but do
We
that.
have that, yeah.
Okay, do that right away and give it a shot at some green.
Fingers crossed. I'm going to try it. Hopefully I can bring my hibiscus back.
All right, save the hibiscus.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
Mark, always a pleasure. The forecast, weather questions, planning questions for your gardening. It's all there every week, man. We appreciate it.
Love chatting with y'all.
All right, Mark.
Have a good week,
have a
Mark.
great week.
See you too.